This is an analysis from Alpha Business Media. Right at the heart of Nepal's economy, there's this deep, challenging paradox. It's a nation that feels like it's being defined by departures, but at the same time, it's being kept alive by the very people who leave.
To really get a sense of what's happening, just look at this number. Every single day, over 2,000 young Nepalese head for the airport to find work abroad. Now, this isn't just some passing trend, it's literally reshaping the entire demographic makeup of the country.
And in return for that daily exodus, an absolutely staggering financial lifeline. In just 1 year, we're talking over $10 billion sent home. That's about a quarter of the entire nation's GDP. This river of cash just dwarfs foreign aid and investment combined. It's the main engine keeping the economy from stalling out. So in this explainer, we're going to break all of this down. First, we'll tackle the paradox itself. Then we'll do the math on the real costs of this brain drain. After that, we'll explore the hidden opportunities in what you could call an intellect export, look at some global solutions, and finally, lay out a clear roadmap for what comes next. This right here is the central contradiction. You have the country's most vital resource, its young people, leaving in massive numbers. And yet, the money they send back from places like Malaysia, Qatar, or even Romania is the single biggest thing preventing a total economic collapse. If you want to understand modern Nepal, you have to understand this. So this brings us to the big question, the one that frames this entire analysis. Is this mass migration a total catastrophe, a brain drain that's just hollowing out the country's future? Or should we be looking at it differently, as a strategic intellect export that, if we manage it right, could actually become Nepal's greatest strength? Let's quickly define these two competing ideas. The whole brain drain argument, well, it focuses on the obvious negatives. You're losing skilled workers, you're losing the money you invested in their education, and you're seeing families and communities torn apart. But the intellect export view, that highlights the incredible financial stability from remittances, the huge drop in poverty, and this fascinating transfer of new skills and ideas, what economists call social remittances. To really figure this out, we have to start by tallying up the debit column. Let's calculate the very real, very significant costs of this mass migration. And make no mistake, this trend is accelerating fast. After the pandemic, migration picked up across Asia, sure. But in Nepal, the outflow surged by a jaw-dropping 102%. That is the highest on the entire continent. This isn't a slow leak anymore. It's a bursting dam. You know, the costs go so much deeper than just empty villages. Think about this. More than half of the country's engineers are working somewhere else. The nation loses every dollar it invested in their education. We're talking up to $45,000 for a single doctor, gone. Add to that the lost income tax and the deep, deep psychological scars on the families left behind, with truly staggering rates of anxiety and depression. And this points to the core economic danger here. It's called the remittance trap. The money flowing in, it's like a painkiller. It's so effective at soothing the immediate symptoms of poverty that it completely removes the political urgency to do the hard work, the structural reforms you need to actually create jobs and opportunity at home. Okay, but that's only half the story. Now let's flip the coin and look at the other side of the balance sheet, because inside this crisis, there is a massive and I think underappreciated opportunity. It's time to examine the credit side of this whole equation. The key thing to understand is the sheer scale of this financial power. I mean, look at the data. The collective contribution from individual migrants is many, many times larger than what international aid agencies and big foreign companies invest, combined. It is, and this is not an exaggeration, the primary life support system for the entire economy. But the value goes way beyond just dollars and cents. This concept of social remittances is absolutely key. What we're talking about here is the flow of priceless, intangible things. The new skills somebody learns in a Japanese hotel, the business ideas from a startup in Hong Kong, the work ethic from a German factory. This intellectual capital can be even more transformative than the financial kind. And hey, this isn't just some academic theory. You can see it working in the real world. You've got Arjun KC, who came back from Hong Kong to start the ride-hailing app Taxi Mendu, or Boj Bahadur Tamang, who brought back advanced farming techniques from Israel to build a modern organic farm. These aren't just one-off stories. They are solid proof that brain circulation, not just brain drain, can be a powerful reality. So the big question is, how does Nepal escape the trap while seizing this opportunity? Well, the answer seems to lie in shifting from being a passive receiver of cash to becoming an active manager of its global talent. And for that, we can learn a lot from other countries that have figured out how to leverage their own diasporas.
Just take a look at some of these global models. India is a master at financial mobilization, using diaspora bonds to fund huge national projects. Ireland focuses on structured support systems and building powerful business networks. And then you have China, with its aggressive strategy to acquire talent, offering direct incentives for top professionals to come home. Nepal can absolutely learn from all three of these playbooks.
So, taking those lessons, we can build a clear, actionable plan. This is a roadmap for transforming the Nepali diaspora from what it is now, a simple safety net, into a primary engine for national innovation and real economic growth.
It really boils down to a three-pronged strategy. First, you create a seamless highway. That means reforming laws to make it dead simple for members of the diaspora to invest, work, and own property back home. Second, launch Diaspora bonds to funnel all those remittance savings into productive sectors like tech and green energy. And third, you activate the digital diaspora by building a dynamic online platform for virtual mentoring and knowledge sharing.
The entire strategy, all of it, hinges on this one critical shift in mindset. The goal has to be moving from passively receiving money to actively managing a valuable global asset, its Intellect Export. It's about taking control, having a strategy, and turning what looks like a weakness into a serious strength.
And that presents the fundamental choice. See, the real question isn't how to stop talented people from leaving. It's how to build the bridges that ensure their value, their skills, their capital, their ideas always finds its way back home. The answer to that question is what will define Nepal's future.